Ghanatube so for open some ahudo etia now odi weni action yes the latest, the happenings, the shocks, the happy ones and all that was for Nina Ghanatube so and I was Ebeka etem personal young wasted time bibiano was for Dimechi Nanya a war on young Goti and Bra.
On the international front, the Trump administration is considering implementing travel restrictions for 36 more countries, including Ghana. According to an internal memo seen by the U.S. media organization, The Washington Post, the memo signed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio sent to U.S. diplomats on Saturday says the government of the listed nations have 60 days to meet the new requirements established by the State Department. Now, the State Department alleged that some of the countries mentioned have not met various benchmarks, such as no competent or cooperative central government authority to provide reliable identity documents or a large number of citizens who've violated the terms of their visas. However, the memo included a caveat. If a country is willing to accept third country nationals who are being removed from the U.S., it would ease their concerns. Let's get some perspective on this. And Dr. Ishmael Holovo is an international relations expert, and he joins us via Zoom, on phone rather, for more details. So, I mean, now that we know that Ghana is on the list, Doc, which way do you think we are leaning? Can we take advantage of this caveat?
Good afternoon to your viewers. I think that we should have a sober reflection over it. It's not a simple issue of either you want to take advantage of the caveat. Under what circumstances are you going to accept third-party nationals who are being deported from the U.S.? Whereas what we should do is to improve our cooperation in terms of providing identification for people who are supposed to be Ghanaian, who are overstayed their visas, in terms of them being deported. I think that would be the best option we have. But to be hosting third-party nationals who have committed various offenses in the U.S. may not be the ideal situation for a country like Ghana. So I think that if it is a matter of how we cooperate with them in terms of our citizens who are obtaining their visas, then we can cooperate if they are repatriated from Ghana. So I think it's important that it and then prove our cooperation provide identity and other reliable documentation.
Right. And Doc, kindly reposition for me. I lost a huge chunk of your last submission.
So my argument is that you are better off improving your ability to cooperate with them in terms of verifying documentation, in terms of providing identity document for those they want to deport. That level we should aim at improving. And of course, the issue also speaks to various documentations that we provide in Ghana in terms of who is applying for visa to other countries, in terms of passport acquisition and so. So when we tighten those aspects and assure them that yes, now the documentation process in Ghana is quite tight, and that we will not have people who enter the U.S. and overstay for whatever reason, I think that we may be considered and be listed from whatever sanctions they want to impose.
Right. I mean, in terms of sober reflections, I know that some countries have already accepted this, like El Salvador. But talk to us about the impact of this. How exactly will it impact Ghana's foreign relations with the U.S.?
So it makes it more difficult for Ghanaians who want to go to the U.S. If assuming the restrictions have come into it will make it very difficult for ordinary Ghanaians who are aiming to relocate or travel to the U.S. for whatever reason or another. But also because we have many levels of engagement with the U.S., this travel restriction may also signal worsening of Ghana-U.S. relations. And I think that since the Mahama administration took office, we have not had a very high level of engagement with the U.S. Most of the engagement we have been having is at the diplomatic embassy level. I'm yet to see either the foreign minister or the president have a very high level of engagement with the Trump administration. So these are things that should be ironed out at the very highest level of diplomacy, where we can leverage on things that we have in common with the U.S. to try to negotiate our way through.
Since you yourself are saying you're yet to see any concrete response, if I can paraphrase here, how do you think, in your expert opinion, how would you advise the foreign ministry in Ghana to respond to this, especially because we have only the 60-day window?
So, as I indicated, they have listed a number of issues that is of concern to them. So, you have to demonstrate how you are addressing those issues that they are raising in terms of cooperating with them to receive those citizens who have overstayed their visa. You must also demonstrate how you are actually tightening some of the aspects of your documentation for your citizens to ensure that, for instance, they don't go and overstay their visas there. So you have to demonstrate, because they have listed some of the issues that are of interest. So you have to demonstrate to them, engage them and demonstrate that these are the steps that we are taking to ensure that those things are being addressed. So it's very important we do that. Perhaps we also need to have at least a very high level engagement with the Trump administration to have a clearer view of what Ghana-US relations should be and what we expect from that administration. I've not seen that yet. Maybe it has happened at the back door, but openly we have not had that high level of engagement that we should have with the U.S. since this administration took office.
You just listed the things that we should do, I mean, to meet their requirements as well. But if we don't, what diplomatic leverages can we exploit in terms of economically or so on and so forth to get out of this situation without compromising our national interests?
So, as I said, since they have indicated what they want, we don't have the economic muscle to try to influence the U.S. economically. So your best bet is to, if you want to leverage economically, then you have oil. That's the only leverage you have if you are going to say that, okay, if you consider lifting some of these sanctions, then U.S. companies will have some leverage in the oil and gas sector. That may be a deal that you want to make, giving Trump and that right deal, sometimes posing some of restrictions that bring back the negotiation to West. So yes, economic that.
Unfortunately, our connection is not clear again. Let me throw this last question to you. Perhaps if you're clearer, we can get a response from you. So if we are unable to meet these requirements at the end of the 60-day window, what are these restrictions likely to be? Are we looking at full freeze, visa bans? What are the likely forms that this restriction will take?
Yeah, so you are looking at a visa ban for certain category of people. Given what they have done, I'm not sure they will implement a full visa ban on Ghana, but maybe they will demand more for you to enter the US. So it will be a situation where very few Ghanaians will be able to enter the US if it comes to effect.
All right, Dr. Ishmael Kobla-Hlovo is an international relations expert, and he put some perspective to this. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Moving on, Ghana Water Limited has busted an illegal water connection syndicate that has been trading water in commercial quantities from two of its underground hydrants at Adenta in Accra. This crackdown follows a tip-off on the suspicious activities of the operators. Addressing the media in Accra, Communications Manager for Ghana Water Limited, Nana Yaobani, said their checks revealed a sharp discrepancy in the monthly bills paid by the consumer compared to the volumes of water consumed by the household. Valentina Semenyo was on ground and filed this report.
When officials of the Ghana Water Company visited the premises, it uncovered a large-scale illegal connection to two of its hydrants and a hidden underground tank that stores water for resale. Explaining the act to the media, an engineer with the Ghana Water Limited, Engineer Dr. Hadisu Al-Hassan, indicated the reported water consumption and billing figures was contradictory. He added that the incident exposes a major weaknesses in the company's monitoring and enforcement mechanism.
The interesting thing is that looking at the volumes of water they get here and the quantities they sell, the revenue they even pay is an insult to the company. because the kind of consumption they indicate they consume does not in any way match the level of operation they do here. If such an enterprise, as you've seen with the tanks here, paying bills around 400 cedis, 500 cedis, then it tells you something. Clearly, with what's happening now, activities of this nature can deny an entire community from having access to safe drinking water. So we see this as an assault on our efforts to get a much needed revenue to be able to expand our infrastructure and maintain our assets. I think the message is simple. To our own staff who get involved in these illegalities, your job is on the line and you would face possible prosecution when found culpable. To the general public who are involved in this, if we get you, we are going to fine you appropriately and let also the law take its course.
Communications Manager for the Water Company Limited, Nana Yao Barnier, urged the public to report suspicious water activities to prevent further abuse of the system.
In fact, what really baffles us as a company is the fact that our meter readers come here to read meter on monthly basis, and they have seen these two hydrants. They cannot tell us that they have not seen these two hydrants. It is 72 cubic meters for the whole month, 72 cubic meters. And if you calculate in terms of bill, he's paying just about a little over 800 Ghana cedis. Such a thing cannot be done, and the customer will pay something less than 1,000 Ghana cedis. That cannot happen. So members of the public, we are pleading with you to help us with information so that some of these things can be halted.
Valentina Semenyo's report read to you.
I was having a master pass and would image the hotel and send a buy. Now the comment in the comment section. I'm much pray. I can Nina Eddie Amo. I had a Ghanatube for story as usual. I was here for my crown.